Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
Who's this?
Brendan, like from that one show. I mean, I'm not trying to be cocky, but it's kind of a big deal.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I know it's kind of cliche, but two-headed shark attack.
Cliche? Cliche would be Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Not two-headed shark attack.
You don't like two-headed shark attack? What was that?
That was just my voice box malfunctioning.
Dude, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No. Hang on. How is this? Can you hear me now?
You sound familiar.
No. Remember, I said my voice box was malfunctioning.
Oh, like Christopher Walken. Like Joe Dirt and Wedding Crashers? I gotta tell my friend Nick about this. Dude, what are you doing? The show starts in 5 minutes. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Welcome back to That One Show. He's Nick.
And he's Brendan. Today, we're going to review comics, toys, games, and a very special TV show. So to start us off, let's take a look at the Halloween #1 published by Chaos Comics. Personally, I really like the cover a lot. What do you think?
I like it quite a bit too.
I mean, I love that it's just a photograph from the movie. I mean, to me, that's something that's really cool.
Well,
I
right.
mean, if you're going to base it on a film, why not do something like that? It's a good idea. I believe, too, there's also variant comic book covers for this one. There's one, because there's a bunch of different posters from the movie, so there's actually different covers for the comic based on each of the posters from the movie.
And it's the same story, right?
Yep, same exact story, just different covers. So the story on this one is actually really interesting. The little boy from the very first movie, Tommy, in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, he actually defeats Michael Myers with the lead female in the movie. This, I believe, takes place after that situation. What it is Tommy obtains the doctor's notes from Sam Loomis, the doctor who worked with Michael back in the mental institution, and he finds the notes, and then the book is actually a lot of a flashback back to what happened in the hospital with other kids and with Dr. Loomis, and it's actually a really cool story. It's a lot of fun. The artwork is mediocre. What do you think of the artwork?
To be honest, I didn't really like the artwork. I mean, I don't know. It's not really for me. It kind of reminds me of like an anime, I guess. I don't know. It's just not for me.
So next, let's take a look at the Friday the 13th by New Line Cinema's House of Horrors, published by Avatar Press. Brendan, what did you think about the cover on this one?
I actually really enjoy it. I really like the lightning, personally. That's probably one of my favorite parts. And then another favorite part is it's just Jason, so it's awesome.
Yeah, Jason's awesome.
Right.
Period. And the lightning that's my favorite part of the cover too.
Right.
Honestly, I think it's great. The rain, so the streaks from the rain looks really cool. The art on the cover, I think, is fantastic. I love it. And actually, the art on the inside of this one's really good too.
Yeah, I agree as well.
Yeah. So the story of this one's basically just a simple Friday the 13th story like any other. Teens and whatnot getting hacked up because they get in the way.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be doing things you shouldn't be doing at Crystal Lake. So
blood and gore.
Yeah. It's awesome. And that's one thing I really do like about it is the very graphic images for like when he cuts a guy in half and
right.
slices heads open and stuff. It just looks great. I mean, it's well worth it's well worth the pickup if you find this one somewhere. This is a special number 1 of a one-shot series that actually led into future books. There was also a crossover which was pretty cool. It was Jason versus Jason X, and that's a whole other thing, but we'll get into that at a different time.
Moving on to our next comic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also released by New Line Cinemas and published by Avatar Press.
This one here, personally, in my opinion, the Jason cover is awesome, but I love this cover. This cover is definitely intended for mature people only. I mean, he's cutting people in half for crying out loud.
I mean, it's pretty awesome.
It is
I have to
awesome.
agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, as story goes, though, the story is it's pretty much basic Texas Chainsaw. They're just trying to kind of bring it, modernize it a little bit. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. And the artwork on the inside, again, is so-so. It's not great, but the cover is awesome.
Right, no, yeah, I think the cover is the best part, honestly.
Yeah. This one's definitely worth owning just for the cover. That's probably why I own it.
That's why you bought it. Moving on to our final comic book, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street, also released by New Line Cinemas and Avatar Press.
I actually don't really like the cover or the artwork. I mean, I like the layout of the cover. It's cool. Like, it's cool looking. But I just don't like the artwork. Just as much so as the inside artwork. I don't like it either. The detail on the girl looks pretty good, and then maybe even on his glove. But, like, his face
Yeah,
doesn't look very good.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's what you were saying before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the inside?
Yeah, I don't really like the inside either. I don't know. I don't think it's very good. I mean, obviously it's pretty nice art, but it's just not. I feel like they could have done better. As if to where, like, the Friday the 13th one, I really like that art.
Yeah, no, the Friday the 13th one looks great.
Right, and it's great. I don't know.
The one thing that is nice about this one that I think is that I really like the story. The overall story of this one's really good. I mean, it definitely captures and feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street story in comic book. So that was one thing that they successfully did, in my opinion. Now we're going to take a look at some classic NES games based on the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street film series. The games are both, they're shit. Let's face facts. I mean, they're terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you played them. They're terrible.
No, yeah, they're definitely horrible. I mean, nothing else to say besides they just suck.
The idea, I could see where they're going with it, and I understand that they were trying to do something different, which is cool, but they just weren't able to capture that, and they really did no justice to the names of the series by any means. I mean, you might as well have just called these something else entirely. I mean, they're not fun. They're really almost impossible, but they're not terrible when you just play them and you're not looking for a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street game.
Right.
And something that the Angry Video Game Nerd pointed out, who's a fellow YouTuber, if you guys have ever heard of him. If not, go check him out. He's got a lot of really good stuff. Angry Video Game Nerd. He pointed out that LJN actually made both these games, as well as a bunch of other film-based video games for the NES. Like Terminator, Karate Kid, Back to the Future.
Right.
I mean, they're all terrible. They don't even come close to touching base with the stories that they're based on.
Honestly, what I think they're doing is they're taking these characters and then putting them into a game that makes no sense. Because Freddy, he's a snake catcher, apparently. He chases snakes down the road, and then... Yeah, they just make no sense. So, basically, they're putting these characters in stories that they wouldn't be in.
Let's see now. Ha
So now we're going to take a look at some Funko Pop vinyls. Funko is actually a really, really cool toy line. They have a lot of really good products. The Pop vinyls are one of their most popular lines, actually. Today we're going to look at a few of them. We'll start here with Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. He's number 2 in the Pop movie series, which is actually pretty cool. That's a good number. They did a really good job with detail. I mean, the burns on his face, heck, it almost looks better than that comic book art.
It does, actually.
And then his glove, his sweater, hat, I mean, everything. The boots. I mean, it's got a lot of detail in these little guys. They do a really good job. They do a lot of good work with them.
So with Pop vinyls, there are plenty of variants. As you can see, we have one here. Freddy Krueger with the syringe hands from Part 3, which is Dream Warriors. With this one, I really like it. The syringe fingers are awesome. The detail's awesome, just like the regular Freddy one.
Well, I think it's really cool. I love it. The only thing that I wish is that they would have had his hat on. It's weird, because in the scene, I remember him having his hat on. So, I don't know. It's just weird that they didn't have it on. But otherwise, though, I think the syringes look great. Again, the detail for the burns looks awesome, and it's a little different than the other one, so you don't feel like you got the exact same figure with just a couple minor changes. They actually went into more detail and changed a lot of little things.
Right, and that's probably why they didn't do the hat, so you didn't feel like you had the same Pop vinyl.
Right.
So it makes it more of a variant, even though he had a hat in the movie. But it makes sense why they did it.
Oh, and it's cool because this one's a Hot Topic exclusive, so it's the only place you're going to get it, either that or eBay. The next Pop vinyl we're going to look at is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface one. This guy here is a number 11. The guy actually, when I ordered it and he opened the box to look inside the box, because I ordered from a store, when he opened the box, even, he said the same thing that I think most people think. He was like, it's kind of cute, you know? And it is. It's weird, but they're kind of cute, like these Pop vinyls, the way they make them. But what's great about Leatherface is his detail on his chainsaw and the mask.
The mask is
I mean,
fantastic.
you can really see, like, they did a good job at layering it from the face of the Pop vinyl to the mask on the Pop vinyl.
Right.
It just looks really good. You know, his little apron, a little bit of blood on his chainsaw. It's great. I mean, I'd give this to my toddler.
Right, well, I mean, he's got a creepy mask and a bloody chainsaw, bloody apron, and he's still cute.
Yeah.
That's what Funko Pops do.
The last Pop vinyl we're going to take a look at tonight is the Hellraiser Pinhead. It's really cool. It's a really good one. I love it. The detail, the nails in his head, all the pins look awesome. I mean, he's great. His bondage gear, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Is awesome. You were saying something about the tools.
Yeah, I think the belt is fantastic with, like, the saws and whatnot. Great.
Yeah. And then, of course, he's got the puzzle box. The puzzle box looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is pretty much one of the reasons why I like to own this one. It's just I love the puzzle box. The puzzle box, great. So you get an iconic horror character and an iconic horror prop in his hand, which is awesome. I think it's awesome. So first you had Evil Dead. Then there was Evil Dead 2. Army of Darkness. They made a remake. There's even a musical that spawned off of the entire franchise of The Evil Dead. And now we get Ash versus The Evil Dead.
The greatest show to be on TV.
I'm pretty excited. And it's
I'm
on
excited,
Stars.
too.
Stars produces a lot of really good stuff, too. So I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be great. I mean, the story is 30 years. Ash has been avoiding dealing with responsibilities and facing the Evil Dead. And it all just kind of comes full circle, and he has no choice but to get involved and do it and deal with it. So we'll show you guys a trailer. That way you can kind of get a glimpse of it. I mean, most of you probably already seen it anyways, but let's take a look.
Enjoy.
My uncle is a shaman. When I was a kid, he would say, evil is always waiting in the shadows. And only one man would rise to stand against it.
Yeah, looking sweet.
Pablo, music. Here's the plan. There must be some spell I can say to undo this BS once and for all. Well, that sucked pretty hard. Yo, Granny. Let's go. If we get this done quick enough, we might have time to stop for churros. That's not a racist thing, Pablo. That's just a great dessert.
You know I'm not Mexican, right?
That's the spirit.
So for Ash vs. Evil Dead, I'm really excited to see the character development from Bruce Campbell's character Ash. You know, especially starting from Evil Dead all the way till now, you know, like years later. Now that he's older and whatnot, just to see like how he changes from the beginning to the end. Or I mean, maybe not the end yet, but
Well, remember, it's already been greenlit for a season 2.
right.
So
yeah,
we
so there
definitely
you go.
know it's not going to end at the end of season 1, which is great. I mean, I hope they go for a few years. Personally.
I hope so too. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it does. I just want to see Ash out there busting deadites, you know, killing things. I mean, cutting stuff up with his chainsaw. I'm excited that the chainsaw's back. That's great. You know, I mean,
oh man, that shot was fantastic.
oh yeah, plug.
I mean, that was my favorite part of this trailer. Like, I'm so excited for that shot.
oh yeah,
It's gonna be awesome.
it is going to be awesome.
He jumps into his chainsaw. It reminds me a lot on Flash, more towards the end of the season, when Reverse Flash runs into his costume.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
I know, it was great. It
That'll
was
be for another time though. We'll talk
really
about
cool.
Flash. Oh, so for you guys, after you watch the show, it premieres tonight on Stars, Halloween, of course.
Yeah.
So when you guys watch it, post in the comments below. You know, let us know what you thought about the show, and on our next episode, we will be sure to do a brief at the very beginning of the episode. We'll do a brief review of what we actually thought about the show, and for the for the pilot, you know, the premiere episode. So let us know what you think.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah, it was tons of fun. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Have a good night.